Let me ask you this then. What were the people saying? Tony Schiavone did an in-ring interview with Samoa Joe, and I swear, I think for the first time since AEW Dynamite has been on the air, the interviewer asked a question about what the guy he's talking to had done the previous week, and Joe actually got to answer it.
Yes, I'm so glad you noticed that, because I noticed it too, and I give all the credit for that to Samoa Joe, because he came across as somebody who actually knows how those segments are supposed to go. That, he's been around long enough to know how it's done. He put over Tony directly, verbally, and you make the announcer seem like someone important, or even if you're ridiculing them like The Rock used to do, you're doing something with them.
Yes.
You're allowing them to actually hold the microphone. Crazy idea. You're not taking it away from them and walking away. You're getting all your points across while working within the concept of what an interview segment is supposed to be. So he actually came across as a professional when he was doing this thing with Tony. It was great.
Imagine that. And he had emotion, and Joe is always well-spoken. He's got that game face. He has a tone in his voice. You take him seriously. Now his material, through no fault of his own, was caca, because the flimsiest of reasons for his the whole deal was because Wardlow ran his mouth and failed to respect me. I'm standing here holding one of the 18 championship belts in this fakakta company. And he said he wanted to win all the belts. That was the reason. And that was, and we talked about on the program a couple weeks ago, I did with Brian Last, not you, Solomon Grundy. But you can't, if you split a team up when they only been together 6 weeks and there was no real origin story to begin with, otherwise than these two guys just walked out and helped each other one day, then nobody's emotionally invested in it. And instead of a surprise shocking turn, you get a surprise what the fuck already turn reaction. And this is the flimsiest of reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, if any tag team that was on a speaking basis with each other, that would have probably come up in the car or whatever before it. So that's the thing, is it came out of nowhere, and it's a flimsy reason. But okay, now Joe has turned and he's a heel, but now here comes Hobbs and interrupts this interview. Powerhouse Hobbs, who's been kicking Wardlow's ass, now he wants to kick Joe's ass. Well, the goddamn best way in the world to get heat on a brand new heel that's just switched heel from being a babyface is by having the other heels want to beat him up too. But then while they're arguing, Wardlow comes into the ring from behind and attacks Joe, and then Hobbs gets on Wardlow, and then Joe gets on Hobbs, and then again, from the land that brings us, fucking riots that makes goddamn medieval battles look like skirmishes, suddenly all 20 jobbers they have on the crew hit the ring at the same time for a big pull apart, because that visually looks cool with all the, the big guys and then these little doofuses. But then Wardlow leaves the ring, or Wardlow was left in the ring. Everybody else left the ring, and Wardlow is there with Dork Order, who back off from him like, we don't want to mess with you. So Wardlow runs and dives over the top rope onto all the others on the floor. What did anybody in the building understand who they were supposed to be cheering for in that instance? Or did everybody just go to Wardlow as the default because they didn't understand what was going on?
I think it's probably the latter, what you just said, where, it's like they do kind of, and everyone's guilty of this, but they pick and choose when they want to do the big pull apart where everybody comes out to try to break it up, and then there'll be other times where someone's just being brutalized and everyone's just watching or acting like nothing's happening, like it's just part of the show. And then now and then they'll go, oh, this is serious, we have to go and break it up. And I have to, they sent in the security guards. Well, I have to say one of them, I'll put him over. My good friend, indie wrestler Lucas Chase, he was the guy who took the spine buster bump from Wardlow which I told him this. I don't think it's not just because he was my friend, was the best spot of the entire brawl. was Wardlow giving the spine buster to one of the, quote unquote security guys. But I mean, these are people that the fans want to like. And that's another part of the problem. They want to like Joe. They want to like Wardlow. But it makes it hard to like them when you are so often confused as to how you're supposed to respond or what exactly is happening. Like you said, the motivation for the turn. I remember watching it going, this isn't really it, right? That's not the whole reason why he's turning on him, just because he said kind of nonchalantly, oh yeah, I'd like to win every title in AEW someday.
Oh, well, now you've gone too far.
Oh, wait, I have one of those titles. That means he wants to beat me. That's sort of like the reasoning that my son would have, and he's 5, about feeling jilted or upset about something. And that's excusable because he's 5. But when, a giant grown man is getting upset because hypothetically his friend one day might want to win the title that he has, and that's going to be enough to break up your tag team. I'm just baffling to me.